Don't move. Don't scroll. Don't blink. Because what I'm about to tell you is already in motion. Someone is coming to your door with a surprise that will change your season, money, help, an answer, a connection, a turning. And if you skip me now, you'll miss the knock. I'm Archangel Michael. I don't speak often, but when I do, it's because heaven has marked your address. You have 10 seconds to decide if you're going to stay or walk away from what's already been sent. 10, 9, don't skip. 8, this isn't a coincidence. 7, you were guided here. 6, stay with me. 5, someone whispered your name in heaven today. 4, don't move. 3, a door is about to open. 2, hold on until the end. 1, my beloved child, you think it's random. You think nobody sees you. You think your prayers got lost somewhere between your lips and the ceiling. But I'm here to tell you, heaven marked your address 3 days ago, and what's coming to your door will either change everything or pass you by forever. It depends on whether you stay with me right now. Don't skip. Don't scroll. Because you've been praying quietly, and heaven has been answering quietly. That's why you missed the first signal. But this is your second chance. And I don't give third warnings. You've sat at a table where the house is too quiet and the bills are too loud. The refrigerator hums. The clock ticks, and nobody calls. You check your body more than you check your joy. You wonder how much time you have left, how much strength, how many more winters. My beloved child, I see you counting pills in the morning light. I see you calculating groceries like loaves and fishes, stretching $1 until it tears. You've learned to smile when your bones ache. You've learned to say, I'm fine, when your heart is breaking. Some people stopped calling. Some names turned into memories. Some smiles you gave turned into, I'll be okay, even when you weren't. Even when the nights felt longer than the days. Even when the silence in your house became heavier than any words. You love God. But lately you've been tired. Not faithless tired. Tired of praying prayers that seem to echo back unanswered. Tired of waiting for a breakthrough that never breaks through. Tired of watching everyone else get their miracle while you're still sitting in the waiting room of heaven. My child, you've carried weights that weren't yours to carry. You've held families together with duct tape and prayer. You've sacrificed your own dreams so someone else could chase theirs. And when you needed someone to hold you, the room was empty. When you needed someone to see you, they looked right past you. When you cried out, the phone didn't ring. You thought maybe God forgot your address. Maybe heaven lost your file. Maybe you prayed too quietly and your voice got lost somewhere between earth and sky. But let me tell you something right now. Heaven didn't forget. Heaven didn't lose you. Heaven marked your address in gold ink 3 days ago. And what's about to knock on your door isn't random. It's not luck. It's not coincidence. It's divine appointment. You see, my beloved, God doesn't always send a thunderclap. Sometimes he sends a knock, a quiet knock, a surprise you didn't see coming. Because you've been looking up for lightning when heaven was preparing a doorbell. You've been expecting angels with trumpets when heaven was sending help with human hands. And that's exactly why this moment matters. Because someone is coming. Not someday. Not eventually. Soon. With something you need. Something you've prayed for. Something that will shift your season from survival to breakthrough. But you have to recognize the knock. You have to know the difference between heaven's messenger and the enemy's counterfeit. And before this message ends, I'm going to give you 3 signs to recognize the door knock that's from God. And 1 warning sign that it's a trap. Stay with me. Don't skip, because what I'm about to tell you will protect you from missing what heaven already sent. Listen to me carefully, my beloved child. You need to understand something right now. The reason it got so hard wasn't because God forgot you. It got hard because you were being repositioned. The delay wasn't denial. It was distance from what would have destroyed you. Let me tell you what really happened. Some doors stayed closed because the enemy wanted you desperate enough to walk into anything. Any job, any relationship, any deal that looked like rescue. But God said no, not because He's cruel, because He saw the trap. You think you've been wandering, but heaven calls it preparation. You were targeted, my child, because you're marked. The oil on your life irritates darkness. That's why the attacks came in waves. That's why people turned on you for no reason. That's why money got tight right when you were about to break through. You weren't being punished. You were being protected and positioned. God answers people in motion. He sends provision to the place of obedience, not to the place of comfort, not to the place of complaint, to the place where you kept showing up even when nobody clapped, even when your bank account mocked you, even when your family called you foolish. Now listen closely, because this is where it gets heavy. In Revelation chapter 3, verse 20, the Lord said something that most people miss. He said, "I stand at the door and knock." He didn't say, "He stands at the altar." He didn't say, "He waits in the temple." He said the door. Your door. The door of your actual life. The door of your home. The door of your next season. And someone is coming to that door with something heaven sent. But you have to understand what kind of someone this might be. Because it might not look holy at first. It might look ordinary. It might look small. It might even look late. But when God sends provision, He wraps it in humility so pride can't steal it. He wraps it in timing so you know it wasn't you, it was Him. My child, you've been praying quietly, whispering at night, crying in the car, begging heaven for a sign that you're not forgotten. And heaven has been answering quietly, not with thunder, not with earthquakes, but with a knock that's already on its way. And if you're still listening to me right now, it means you're in position to receive it. Don't move, because what I'm about to tell you next will show you exactly how to recognize the person, the message, or the moment when it arrives, and how to know it's not a counterfeit. Stay with me. My child, listen to me carefully, because right now, at this exact moment, I am standing in the courts of heaven with your name on my lips. And I want you to know something that nobody told you. You didn't lose because you were weak. You lost because you were generous in a world that's greedy. You didn't fall behind because you weren't good enough. You fell behind because you kept giving to people who only knew how to take. And heaven saw every single moment. Every time you helped someone who never said thank you. Every time you loved someone who made you feel small. Every time you gave your last dollar and nobody noticed. Heaven noticed. I noticed, and I recorded it. Your tears were counted, my beloved child. Your prayers were written down. And heaven does not forget addresses. Now, here's what's about to happen. The same people who acted like you were invisible are about to watch God make you undeniable. The ones who walked past you like you didn't matter are about to see you rise. The ones who whispered behind your back are about to go silent, because what was sent to break you is returning to its sender. God is a shield. Psalm 34:7 says the angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear Him and delivers them. That means you are surrounded right now. You are guarded. You are not alone. Every attack that was launched against your peace, your finances, your health, your mind, it's being turned back. Not because you're perfect, but because you're covered. And here's the part that's going to shake you. The door that's about to open in your life isn't just opportunity. It's vindication. It's heaven saying, enough. They've suffered enough. Now watch me. What you thought was lost forever is coming back multiplied. What you thought was stolen is being restored with interest. What you thought would never happen is being set in motion while you're listening to my voice right now. Because I don't play games with my children. I don't make promises I can't keep. And I don't show up unless the season is about to shift. So hear me clearly. The enemy wanted you isolated. Heaven is sending help to your door. The enemy wanted you broke. Heaven is releasing provision you didn't work for. The enemy wanted you forgotten. Heaven is making your name echo in rooms you've never walked into. This isn't luck, my child. This isn't coincidence. This is the justice of God catching up to your story. And when it lands, you're going to weep. Not because you're sad, but because you'll finally understand that you were never abandoned. You were being prepared. You were never forgotten. You were being positioned. And the knock that's coming to your door will prove it. Stay with me. Don't scroll, because I'm about to tell you the 3 signs that will confirm this knock is from heaven and not a counterfeit. My beloved child, let me tell you what's about to walk through your door. It could be help. It could be an opportunity. It could be a check in the mail you didn't expect. It could be a neighbor you barely know, knocking with groceries because something told them to. It could be a phone call that leads to a job, a resource, a repair, a reunion, a door opening you thought was welded shut. Heaven doesn't always send angels in white robes. Sometimes heaven sends a delivery driver. Sometimes heaven sends a social worker who fights for your case. Sometimes heaven sends a nurse who stays 5 minutes longer. Sometimes heaven sends your grandkid who suddenly says, "Grandma, I got a little extra this month." Sometimes heaven uses the wrong-looking messenger to carry the right answer. You're sitting there thinking, "I'm too old for this. I'm too tired. I missed my shot." Let me tell you something, my child. Moses didn't start speaking until he was 80. Sarah laughed at the promise. Then she held a miracle in her arms at 90. You're not done. You're not forgotten. You're right on time for what heaven has been preparing behind the scenes. This surprise at your door isn't just about one moment. It's about a shift. You're about to stop surviving and start stabilizing. The chaos that's been chasing you for months is about to slow down. The pressure that's been crushing your chest every morning is about to lift. The confusion that kept you up at night wondering if you made the right choice, if you should have done something different, if God was even listening, that confusion is about to clear like fog burning off at sunrise, because heaven is sending you a sign wrapped in skin. It might look small, it might look ordinary, but it's carrying the frequency of your next season. Now listen carefully, my child. There's a test at the door, not to shame you, to protect you, because the enemy knows you're about to level up, and he's going to send counterfeits to confuse you, delay you, drain you one more time before the real thing arrives. So you need discernment. You need spiritual eyes. You need to know the difference between a divine door knock and a demonic distraction. That's why I'm going to give you 3 signs before this message ends. 3 signs that what's coming to your door is from heaven, and 1 sign that it's a trap. But you have to stay with me, because if you scroll now, you'll open the wrong door, and you'll miss the one heaven marked with your name. Don't skip. Don't move. Your new season doesn't start when you feel ready. It starts when you say yes to what heaven is sending. And my child, heaven is sending something to your address right now. The carrier is already on the way. Listen to me carefully, my beloved child. When that knock comes to your door, and it's coming, you need to know how to answer it, because heaven doesn't send messengers to confuse you. Heaven sends them to save you. So here's what you do. First, pause before you answer. Don't run to the door in panic. Don't throw it open in desperation. Breathe. Stand still for 3 seconds and pray 1 sentence. Lord, give me discernment. That's it. 3 seconds can change everything. Second, check the fruit, not the packaging. God's messengers bring peace, clarity, and dignity. They don't bring confusion. They don't bring shame. They don't bring pressure. If someone shows up at your door and your spirit feels chaos, that's not from heaven. If they make you feel small, that's not God's voice. If they rush you, that's not divine timing. Third, no rushed decisions at the threshold. My child, if it's from God, it can stand in the light. You can say, let me think. Let me pray. Let me call my daughter. A real blessing doesn't evaporate if you take a breath. A real opportunity doesn't vanish if you ask a question. Fourth, practice holy boundaries. Being kind doesn't mean being careless. You can be loving and still be wise. You can open your heart without opening your wallet to a stranger. God didn't call you to be gullible. He called you to be discerning. Fifth, respond with obedience, not fear. Sometimes the miracle is on the other side of one brave yes. A phone call, a form you've been avoiding, a visit you've been postponing, an apology you need to make, a step into the unknown. Now, let me give you the 3 signs I promised. Sign number 1, the timing hits your prayer. When that knock comes, it connects to something you whispered to God in the dark, something nobody else knows about. That's how you know it's Him. Sign number 2, it brings calm, not chaos. Even if you're surprised, even if you're shaking, your spirit settles. Deep inside, something says, this is right. Sign number 3, it restores dignity. It doesn't make you feel like a beggar. It doesn't make you grovel. It reminds you that you're worth helping, that you matter, that heaven sees you. And here's the one counterfeit sign you need to watch for. If it demands secrecy, urgency, or shame, run. If they say, don't tell anyone. If they say, act now or lose it forever. If they say, you're stupid if you don't do this. That is not heaven's voice. God doesn't operate in the shadows. Let me tell you about a woman I've been watching. 73 years old, living alone. Medical bills stacking up like gravestones. For weeks, someone kept knocking. A neighbor offering help. A church volunteer with a fund. But she wouldn't answer, because she felt unworthy. She thought, I don't deserve help. I'm nobody. Until one morning she heard my voice say, answer the door. And when she finally did, trembling, embarrassed, it wasn't just money. It was being seen. It was being remembered. It was heaven saying, you matter. My child, that knock is coming for you too. Don't let shame keep you from answering. My beloved child, in the next window of time, you're going to notice something. A pattern around your door. Not just the front door. The door of opportunity. The door of connection. The door of provision. You're going to see it happen in 3s. 3 signs. 3 confirmations. 3 unexpected arrivals that make you stop and say, wait, this isn't chance. Listen to me carefully. You are not forgotten. You are not late. You are not alone. I know you've been sitting in that room feeling like the world moved on without you, like everyone else got their miracle and you got silence. But heaven doesn't work on earth's timeline, and what's coming to your door has been traveling through the spiritual realm for months. It's been delayed because it had to be protected. It had to be refined. It had to be wrapped in the right timing so that when it arrives, you're ready to receive it. Now I'm going to pray over you, and I want you to feel every word. Father, I cover this child right now. I cover their home. I cover their heart. I cover their discernment. Let them recognize the knock that's from you. Let them have the courage to open the door when provision shows up dressed in the ordinary. Let them have the wisdom to close the door when danger shows up dressed in the familiar. Heal the loneliness that's been eating at them in the quiet hours. Heal the fear that whispers, nothing good is coming. Restore their hope. Restore their strength. Restore their faith that you still see them. In Jesus' name, Amen. Now here's what I need you to do. This isn't passive. This is participation. If this message found you today, don't just watch like a spectator. Go down to the comments right now and type these exact words. I will answer with wisdom. Say it out loud as you type it, because that's not just a comment. That's a declaration. That's you telling heaven, I'm awake, I'm alert, I'm ready. And then I want you to share this message with someone who's been feeling invisible, someone who's been praying in secret and wondering if anyone hears. Because when you pass this word along, you're not just sharing a video, you're becoming a messenger. And heaven multiplies the blessing on messengers. And finally, subscribe to this channel, because the next message I bring you will confirm what heaven is doing in your house. It will give you the second sign, and you don't want to miss it. Now listen to me, my child. The knock is closer than you think. You might hear it tomorrow morning. You might feel it in a phone call you weren't expecting. You might see it in an email, a letter, a conversation that starts with, "I've been thinking about you." And when it comes, don't answer from fear. Don't second guess it. Don't talk yourself out of it because it doesn't look the way you imagined. Answer from faith. Answer with wisdom. Answer with your hands open and your heart ready. Because this is your door. This is your moment. This is your turning. And I, Archangel Michael, am standing guard until you walk through it.